with a big lead as they head on.
Well, UNLV with a 19-point lead, and as I recall, Lynn Shackelford, I don't believe they've ever trailed in this ball game. They got out in front 7-0. Then I remember Idaho State tied it at 10, but I believe that's the last time the ball game was tied.
Yeah, and I think you'll see UNLV come out hot and heavy here to start the second half. Idaho State now will have a much better feel of what they're up against, and they can make some adjustments at halftime, so I expect a much better second half here out of the Bengals. Jerry Tarkanian always with that a little bit worried look, but when he puts his hands behind his back, that's not the extremely worried look.
That's sort of the semi-worried look.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a 19-point advantage. UNLV led by as many as 22 in the first half, and we had that one tie when it was tied at 10. And Toros Yatanekian, who had to spend a lot of the first half on the bench with 3 fouls, is in the starting lineup for Idaho State and has the ball right now. To Holston. Holston can't get the shot to go down, and George Davis does a great job of rebounding again. And Gilliam lost it out of bounds. George Davis, for a 6'6" guy, Lynn, has rebounded tremendously effectively here today.
Yeah, he seems to be physically able to play with the UNLV players.
Holston for 3.
Holston
tried to tap it in, couldn't do it.
Holston is now 4 for 13 in the game. That hurts.
Patio picking up the foul. Patio's a little frustrated, I think. He didn't score a basket in the first half, Lynn, and looked a little frustrated on that play.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. When you score 46 points, it seems like if you're a starter, you should be in that scoring act.
This is Jim Rhodey being guarded by Freddie Banks. Troy Miles, number 12 with the ball for the orange and black clad Idaho State Bengals. Finished 7th in the Big Sky Conference. Got hot, though, and won the conference tournament. And are here. Holston wide open. Nice pass. 11 points for Don Holston. You know, you don't see many of Don's race. A pure-blooded Yurok Indian playing college basketball.
You sure don't.
Oh, missing the layup was Miles. An easy 2 for Idaho State. They didn't get it, and they're down 46-29. Alley-oop.
Yeah, set play.
Last night, his second basket of the day. 5 feet from Mark Wade, who probably now has how many assists, Lynn, off that first half stat sheet?
Well, there was, I think, a poor shot selection by Rhodey. He didn't have any rebounding back there.
Banks gets another 3-pointer.
Wade with an assist there will now have 8 in the contest.
So he's got 353, and every time he makes one, it's another new NCAA record on the season. 353 assists then for Mark Wade. Nice move to the hook by Yatanekian, his second basket of the day. It is 51-31. UNLV by 20. Gilliam being defensed by Davis. Basnight. And Gilliam is fouled on the floor, I believe, by George Davis. No, it is not on Davis. Instead, it is on Jim Rhodey. His third. So Rhodey and Yatanekian and Holston are all playing with 3 fouls. And Jim Botan looking on with a great deal of concern.
Lawrence West reports in for UNLV.
Lawrence West in the ball game for the first time now.
Yeah,
3.
Jerry Tarkanian was a little unhappy, I think, with Gerald Patio's defense.
Fearless Freddie Banks working on Jim Rhodey. There's West. He's moving on Don Holston. West took no time to fire after coming in the ball game. And the Rebels get it. Here goes Banks. Freddie Banks now has 6 3-pointers.
But you
His
see,
best this year is 9.
Freddie Banks looks awfully good on that 3-pointer, but what really created that was the brilliant and quick pass of Mark Wade. That leaves Banks out there wide open because he gets the ball to him so quickly.
Banks has 20 points, including 6 3-pointers today. He has made as many as 9 in a game. Good back cut for Jim Rhodey.
Yeah, that's what they'd like to do more of, the backdoor trap play. They haven't been able to do it too much, though, so far.
54-33. Banks shooting and missing, and Rhodey rebounding. UNLV has scored 100 points 12 times in their 34 ball games prior to this afternoon. They've been over 90 18 times. Traveling.
Reporting in for UNLV, number 40, David.
Think of that. Over 100 points 12 times in a 34-game season, and over 90 18 times. That boggles the mind.
There's your quick pass from Mark Wade again. There's another quick one by Banks. Now Arvin says, hey, let's calm down a little bit here.
This is Willard. Gilliam off his foot. Oh. Yedinekian, and the ball gets away, and here comes Wade. He's got 4 on 3. Banks from 3. He's got 7 of them.
See, I think that is what's going to surprise a lot of teams in this NCAA tournament. The running Rebels come down on a fast break, and they put up a 3-pointer. Well, teams around the country aren't used to seeing that, and they're not going to defense it.
15 minutes and 27 seconds to go, and the rout now is on. It's a 24-point lead, 57-33 in favor of UNLV. We'll be back in just a moment.
While some still believe you can't take it with you,
57-33, 7 3-pointers so far today for Freddie Banks. That's only 2 less than he's had in games against Auburn and San Jose State. And as you said, Lynn, he's got the green light anytime they come down the floor.
You got a great guy on the fast break, little Mark Wade. A little shuffle pass to him means nothing. He sets it up. Banks sets up on the fast break that far out. It's really strange, but that's what the 3-point does. It widens the court, I guess.
It is 57-33. Yedinekian trying to get loose inside. Good feed back to... Oh, a 3-pointer that went in and out for Troy Miles. Graham is fouled by Holston, his 4th.
Holston, I think, tried to back off, but in the minds of the officials, that's going to usually be called for a foul. You got to just get away from him altogether. Let's see what he did there. Did he get him on the body or what? Graham jumps into him, you see. He gets him on the body. That's always going to go in favor of the offensive player.
And Gary Graham, who had 10 first-half points, including 3 out of 4 at the stripe, will be shooting 2. UNLV hit 13 out of 17 free throws in the first half. They're now 14 out of 18. Gary Graham, a 6'4" senior out of Baltimore, Maryland. We mentioned was a high school teammate of Reggie Williams, the Georgetown star. And it is now a 59-33 lead with 14:55 to go. Davis, nice move to the hook, can't get it to go down. Gilliam rebounds it. Great pass across court. Another 2 for the Running Rebels. That one by Graham. 61-33, biggest lead of the ball game. 28 points now for the Rebels. Yedinekian feeding nicely to Rodney Purvis. And the 6'3" senior from Los Angeles gets his first 2 of the day. 61-35. Rebels have defeated their opponents this year by an average of 18.7 points. They are, of course, the highest scoring team in the nation, averaging 93.2 per ball game.
UNLV rolls into the NCAA tournament coming out of the PCA tournament with victories of margins of 35, 34, and 25. So they haven't been tested much recently.
Jerry Tarkanian is going to get Patio back in the ball game. Look at that record. That's for everything. That's not his Division I record. But when you take his Division I record with 475 victories, it's an 8.23% record. Second best ever in college basketball. Patio. Yedenekian grabs the rebound for the Bengals. Kind of fascinating sometimes, Lynn, just to stop and listen to the shoes squeak on the floor. Davis. That is his 4th basket of the day.
Yeah, there's going to be some tongues hanging out and some sore feet tonight for both teams. This is a pretty fast-paced game.
Willard going to the hook. And Yedenekian may have just picked up his 4th foul.
Yedenekian says, Coach, let me stay in. Coach Jim Botan says, yeah, go ahead, stay out there.
Botan, 44 years old, in his 20th year as a head coach.
See, Willard has those extremely long arms. What an advantage in basketball when you're shooting underneath. You can just hang in the air and wait for the other guy to foul you or to come down.
Willard is out of Laredo Junior College in Texas. Native of San Diego, 6'11". They list him at 195. He looks to be a little heavier than that to me, Lynn.
I agree. Sometimes he reminds me a little bit of Kevin McHale. He's got long arms. He's very erect underneath, stands very tall, and just reaches over a lot of people.
Stands 6'11". It is now 62-37, 13:22 to play. Again, the winner of this game will play Kansas State on Saturday, and Mark Wade just picked up his 2nd foul.
UNLV number 10, Mark Wade. 2nd foul on Wade.
You know, 26 of UNLV's 34 games have been played before crowds of 10,000 or more, with 20 of those complete sellouts, 10 of them at home and 10 of them on the road. So this is a team that attracts fans like a magnet.
Well, they're a fun team to watch. They play that fast break style of basketball. It's exciting. It fits in well in Las Vegas. They're the hottest show in town.
Yedenekian shooting and missing, and the Rebels back at the other end in a hurry. 2 more for Gary Graham. Graham now has scored 4 points here scored 6 points in the 2nd half. He now has 16. 12 minutes, 40 seconds to play. Willard almost with a steal. Davis from 3-point range. Run down by Patio. Gilliam was fouled. Gilliam, incidentally, needs only 6 more points, and he will have the all-time single-season scoring record in the PCAA. He is 6 points short of 790, which would be the most ever for a single season by a PCAA player. Willard sits down, and back in the ballgame now for the Rebels comes number 33, Eldridge Hudson. Mark Wade. And it's knocked out of bounds by Rhodey. There's Jim Rhodey. The running Rebels. Their only loss this year, a hotly disputed 1-point decision at Oklahoma. And they are 1-1 on the year with the Sooners, having beaten them earlier in the preseason NIT. Davis again with another offensive board. Couldn't get it to go down, and Hudson rebounds it. There's that pass into Gilliam, and he misses the slam dunk. There's that defensive pressure creating yet another turnover. And Graham getting the basket. Great defensive pressure by Mark Wade.
Yeah, I don't know what Yedenekian was thinking dribbling out there, but he probably won't do it again. You never dribble. A big man should never be dribbling out in your half court with his back to the basket.
17 points now for Gary Graham. And it is 66-37. Yedenekian from 12 feet. He has 6 points. This is Patio. Wade feeding it into Gilliam again. And again, he can't get the shot to go down.
Yeah, he's having an off game, Armin Gilliam. Not that it's going to matter much.
Rhodey trying for 3 and missing, and Gilliam getting the rebound. I think Idaho State now is completely playing UNLV's game, Lynn.
Yeah, we're just going back and forth here.
I guess when you're down 66-39.
Maybe you better go back and forth. You got any chance of catching up?
That's true. 10:29 remaining. Nice move inside by Jim Rody.
Rody's a lefty, and he's a quick one. He's got that quick first step going to the hoop.
9 points for Rody. UNLV are going to bring 3 substitutes in when we come back. 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. There's a timeout with UNLV, the #1 team in the country, leading 66-41. We'll be back to the Special Event Center in a moment.
An assist for one season, a brilliant passer. One of the reasons is he's got Armin Gilliam as a favorite target. Gilliam cost Wade an assist right there by missing a little easy shot.
Live action again. Mark Wade with the ball, launching what would have been the alley-oop to Jarvis Passnight. And he is fouled.
31, Rodney Harris. That's his first foul.
Passnight is a player that's going to be needed in this NCAA tournament if UNLV is to go all the way, because he's big and strong and very tall inside, and they're going to face some taller teams. They're going to need Passnight to be effective.
Freddie Banks trying for his 8th three-pointer of the day. Remember, his season high is 9. Did that twice against Auburn and San Jose State. 66-41. It'll belong to UNLV. Turnovers, 12 against UNLV, and now 12 against Idaho State. Jim Botan. Patio. He's been badly off the mark today.
Way off for Patio. But there'll be another day. He'll get an opportunity. For Idaho State, it's a regroup, and there's always next year.
66-41. 3-point effort by Rodney Purvis won't go. Run down by Mark Wade. Well, this game is certainly in contrast to the first one that was played here today, when Kansas State beat Georgia 82-79 in overtime. There's the alley-oop from Hudson to Passnight. And the 6'8 junior from Detroit, who celebrated his 22nd birthday yesterday, Jarvis Passnight, gets his 6th point of the day. 68-41. Jim Botan has won 370 games in his 20-year coaching career. Native Oregonian. Mark Wade will sit down. I imagine he'll be credited with about 12 assists for the day, which would put him up around 360. Already the NCAA single-season record holder. And he got 21 when UNLV demolished Navy in the finals of the Holiday Classic in Las Vegas on December the 29th. There's fearless Freddie Banks. Stajanovich is in the ball game now for UNLV. Passnight with an easy basket inside.
This will certainly be one of the easiest first-round wins we have in the tournament. And this one was decided, I guess, midway through the first half, really.
70-41. 8 minutes, 18 seconds to play.
Or maybe Sunday night when they paired him up. That's right.
And Hudson called for a foul. That's only the 3rd. You know, foul avoidance has been very impressive by UNLV to me, Lynn. They only committed, I believe, 6 in the first half, and they've only been whistled 3 here in the second half.
Yeah, and it's not because they aren't doing anything out there defensively. They're playing it hard.
Passnight sits down, and Richard Robinson, the 6'10 junior from Granada Hills, California, checks back in the lineup. This is Rodney Purvis with a jump shot. Tipped in nicely by George Davis. Davis now has 10 points. He has been the only real force that Idaho State has had under the offensive boards. 70-43. Patio can't get his shot to drop. It is tipped up and in by Eldridge Hudson. Hudson, a 6'6", 215-pound senior from Carson, California. That's his first basket of the day. And it is 72-43. And still 7.5 minutes to go. Well, let's see some other scores that we gave you earlier. Duke defeated Texas A&M 58-51. TCU defeated Marshall 76-70. Xavier over Missouri 70-69. Notre Dame defeated Middle Tennessee State 84-72. And our score is 72 for UNLV and 43 for Idaho State. Brody with a three-pointer. Hudson with a rebound. A head pass to Patio. Patio getting his first basket of the day, but they may rub it out. Rubbing it out on a charging call on Patio.
I guess this just about wraps it up that it's not his day. A little scoop pass by Eldridge Hudson. I'm not so sure that I would not have given him that hoop and said, yeah, the basket counts, offensive foul.
The foul is 2 on Patio. He's still looking for his first point of the day. Troy Miles with a three-pointer. That is his second three-pointer of the day. And the fourth of the day for Idaho State. 72-46. 7 minutes to play in the ball game. Hudson. We get a foul inside.
Yes, Stacy Sianovich was the man who was fouled there. And he'll get some free throws out of that.
We've got Stacy Sianovich for UNLV and Toros Yetanekian for Idaho State. As you look at Gordon Bean sitting down on the Idaho State bench. Stacy is a native of Oxnard, California.
Patio's trying to sneak in there at the free throw line. Sianovich is standing behind him. Patio smiles.
Sianovich will shoot the free throw.
Yeah, Sianovich didn't think it was that funny.
Both of them looking for their first point of the day.
That's exactly right.
And Sianovich gets it.
Gerald says, okay, good job.
Not easy to get his name on the back of his shirt, is it?
No, he's a son of a high school coach and a smart little point guard out there.
Sianovich gets 2, and it is now 74-46 with 6:52 remaining. Brody. Hudson with a rebound. Here come the running Rebels.
Patio, give it to Patio. He'll want to shoot.
Sianovich inside to Hudson. West with a follow shot. Little volleyball going on. Out of bounds off Hudson. 6:21 remaining. I think Tarkanian is completely relaxed. If you look over, he's got his hands behind his head, his feet folded out in front of him. There is a 57-year-old man who's completely at ease with his job right now. This will be a new UNLV record, their 34th win of the year. They've never won that many before, getting 33 last year. He's not even chewing on his towel today.
No, the towel's underneath the chair, and Tark's got his boots on. He didn't have to go to the towel today. I'm impressed by UNLV, and I have been all year, the way they attack a team that they're heavily favored over. They really go after an opponent early and put them away. And they weren't looking past this game at all. That's very impressive, I think, for them to be able to perform that way game after game. Tark has said that of all the games they've played this year, he felt that they only did not play hard twice.
Well, it was interesting, too, yesterday in the press conference, Lynn, he was asked if this team was on a mission, and he said no, not really. He didn't feel this was any particular mission. They simply wanted to win the next ball game.
Yeah, I think the media is trying to create something there that's just not there. Tark just likes to coach basketball and win basketball games. Obviously, he'd like to win a championship because he likes to win. But if they lose in the NCAA tournament, he says that won't really mean anything. But this team is I think, kind of a special team. I would be real surprised that if they don't go a long way in the tournament. They seem to have all the ingredients you need
Sijanovic missing the free throw, but UNLV retaining possession of the ball, leading 74-48.
We've got a pretty good crowd here at the Special Events Center. Probably a couple thousand fans, I'd say, at least from UNLV. They are staying. Some of the other fans are starting to work their way into the sunlight of the Salt Lake City afternoon.
Which is a beautiful afternoon outside here. And Idaho State's Yantanekian loses it. Again, UNLV will face Kansas State on Saturday. Kansas State beating Georgia in overtime 82-79 here earlier. And there are two other games tonight. UCLA playing against the Chippewas
of Central Michigan. That should be a good one.
And then the second game will match up Virginia and Wyoming. And the foul is on Rhodey.
He had Patio going there pretty good. Patio's not known for his ball handling, and then he got aggressive with the body.
There is Jim Rhodey. He's had a Cinderella year, hasn't he?
Yeah. I see he's got Patio a little bit out of control, but then he just really bumps him right there. Pretty easy play to call.
Fourth foul, and Patio gets his first point of the day.
One thing, Frank, I can still remember all these years later of playing those NCAA tournaments with UCLA, is one of the fun things was that you get some of the best officials from around the country working in the tournament, and you really didn't worry too much about the officiating as a player. You knew you were going to get a pretty good job out there by the guys because they're quality. They're the cream of the crop.
Our three today are Peter Pavia, Phil Bova, and John Russell. Rhodey again. Yes, another three-pointer. Rhodey gets his second three-pointer of the day. He now has 12 points, and it is a 76-51 UNLV lead with 4:53 remaining. Completely a substitute-dominated lineup except for Patio. His first field goal of the day.
And I think that's all Tark was waiting for to get his last starter out of there, was to get him in the box score, and immediately I think he's going to get him out.
And again, Jim Rhodey. Well, if the Rebels score another basket, it will be their 29th time this year to get 80 points or more. Rhodey comes up with a loose ball. 4 minutes to play. Miles missing. Ball run down nicely by Eldridge Hudson. The alley-oop to Lawrence West. Sijanovic to Patio. Three-pointer. Gerald Patio, and that is the 29th time this year that UNLV has scored 80 points or more in 35 ball games. And their fans start to chant, "We want 100." Well, I think they're also chanting for Leon Szymanski.
Yeah, he's the only UNLV player who has not played. It's a little early yet for Tark to go to him, perhaps. He wants to give some of these other guys out there a little chance to perform.
That foul a moment ago was on Stacy Sijanovic, his second. And at the line is Toras Yantanekian, born in Beirut, Lebanon. That is only the 8th free throw today that Idaho State has attempted. They've made 3. 81-55. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left to play with UNLV up by 81-55. We'll be back in just a moment.
That one at 7. That from the East. Also from the East, North Carolina against Penn, the #1 seed against the #16 seed. Bob Lee will be along to take over and join Dick Vitale for the rest of the games tonight. Right now, back to the West Regional in Salt Lake City.
Rhodey getting the rebound. The tournament for the first time this year will likely attract over 500,000 fans. That'll be the first time ever. And there will be almost $25 million generated by this tournament that will go to the participating schools. 500,000 fans, $25 million plus to the participating schools. Very impressive figures.
There's an unhappy group of Idaho State Bengals. They were very happy just a few days ago to be here. They were hoping they could represent their conference a little more impressively, but it was not to be. Don't be ashamed, guys. There's a lot of other teams in the country who have been blown out by the Runnin' Rebels. Very businesslike afternoon for UNLV, moving on to play Kansas State on Saturday.
Willard with a couple of free throws. It's 83-55 with 3:06 remaining. The next level of scoring for UNLV, 90 points. And here comes Szymanski. He's going to come in the ballgame. That's the crowd in the background calling for Szymanski. Holston with a two-pointer. Don Holston. He now has 13 points on the day. And it's 83-57. Sijanovic almost got the putback, but instead it goes to Lawrence West. 85-57. Holston with two more. Well, it has turned into a run-and-gun shootout. But most of the arsenal belongs to UNLV. Holloman getting the rebound. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to play. 85-59. Miles missing. Sijanovic with a 3-on-3 break. And I believe the foul is going to be called on Troy Miles. Here comes Leon Szymanski, the 6'7" senior from Orange, California.
That's really what the UNLV season has come down to the last few weeks. Is the big roar is for whenever Leon Szymanski gets into the game. The outcome is decided so early that there isn't much else to look forward to other than when's Szymanski going to come in and will they score 100 or not.
Meanwhile, John Sullivan and Mike Chatterton come in the ball game. Mike Chatterton on your screen right now, and John Sullivan, number 25, a 6'5" sophomore from Pendleton, Oregon, is also in the ball game. And Sijanovic goes to the free throw line. He's 2 out of 3. Shooting the 1-and-1. Rebounded by John Sullivan. A minute 55 to go. It's 85-59. And Holston now has come off that bench and has 17 points.
Yeah, he averages almost 19 a game. He's got a beautiful little touch.
Traveling. Well, UNLV may be frustrated in their effort to score 90 points for the 19th time this year. They have a minute 42 remaining. It's 85-61. Almost literally. 85-63. And Szymanski draws the foul. He got on the back of John Sullivan.
Foul.
That's team foul number 7. So we'll go to the other end, and Sullivan will shoot 1-and-1. John Sullivan, a 6'5" sophomore out of Pendleton, Oregon. Jim Botan. As you can see, Sullivan shoots them better from the free throw line than he does from the field. And makes this one. 2 for Sullivan. 85-65, minute 15 to go. Crowd again, 11,314. Sijanovic to Willard. 87 points. 1 minute to go. 87-65. 3-point effort. Holston.
So he's finishing his career with a flourisher, looking very impressive, as well he should. He's an impressive player, Don Holston.
Sijanovic. 44 seconds to play. It's 87-68.
Idaho State ball.
Don Holston has 20 points now for Idaho State. .32 seconds remaining. Holston is fouled out. He will lead with a total of 20 points on the day and has scored 1,819 points in his career at Idaho State. 20-point day for Don Holston, full-blooded Yurok Indian. Out of Pocatello. And Sianovich at the line. He'll be shooting 2. That's number 88 for the day for UNLV. .30 seconds to play. 20-point lead. In and out of there. Nicely done by Mike Chatterjee. 18 seconds to go. Idaho State seems determined not to let UNLV get to 90.
Foul. Bingo. Number 21, Jim Rhodey. 5 fouls on Rhodey.
Jim Rhodey has just fouled out of the ball game. He will lead with 14 points, all from the field. What a closing part of the year Rhodey had. Started on January 22nd for the first time in his college career. Was the outstanding player in the Big Sky tournament. Rhodey is replaced by Rodney Purvis. There's Jim Rhodey, who fouls out with 14 points.
He's a real crowd favorite at Pocatello, only a sophomore, so he'll be back.
Patio makes it. Makes it 89. Here it could be the 90th point.
Actually, some of you are going to pick up the paper tomorrow and say, oh, 20 points, that wasn't so bad. Actually, the game was not as close as a 20-point margin.
And so for the... And there is a foul called inside.
Willard at first thought he had been submarined a little bit there, but then he realized it was unintentional.
Sullivan picks up the foul.
There's those long arms. I don't know what's better in basketball, to be able to jump or have long arms, but I think maybe long arms, especially on this play. Willard's got him, and he knows what to do with it. He gives the looks of, what were you doing now?
19 times the Rebels now have scored 90 points or better. They have 93 right now. 13 seconds to go, 93-70. 5 seconds to go. 95-70. And get their 34th victory for the first time in the history of the school. 34-1. So a new milestone for the coach. We'll be back in just a moment.
Final score 95-70.